that. I believe. Let's see here. I wanted to go over some of this stuff here on the government that killed two kids, was 17 and stuff like that. And it's really sad what happened. And I got a lot of different takes on it from Osmond and other people and stuff and everything. And let's go into some ways that I'm gonna put in my experiences with stuff. So mental health and other stuff like that and everything. I like the bullshit about, say Asylums great again. This bullshit make America great again. Yes, anyways, let's go.
He wants to take away your handgun. So how?
That's right. That's right. Everybody has to lose their handgun because this nutball wasn't put in a box.
We're supposed to protect ourselves from trans shooters.
Uh-oh.
The media is bad at pattern recognition.
No, they're not. They're great at it. That's why they actively...
My problem is that they're going after trans and stuff like that. Of course, I put in my opinions about, the different medications and how they can affect a person's mental stability, mental health and stuff like that. And I believe, be who you want to be. If you're male or female and you think you should be something else, get that changed. I actually believe it should be 21, not 18, because people are not being educated in schools. People are being brainwashed into their sexuality a lot more. In schools, and for me and others back in my day, we were taught. We weren't taught in schools sex or anything. We found our own way, our own sexuality, orientation, without some stupid teacher and stuff like that. So, I don't know his past. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what abuse he may have been through or not been through. As for guns, I'm a proponent of having guns that's used against government and law enforcement that can take our rights away, mainly them for self-defense, hunting, as well, being able to go around and hunt for our own food and stuff like that, do our own thing. I'll always be that way, especially when governments always try to take our rights away. So
they try to avoid it, and they create active pattern recognition that's inaccurate. They know what's going on.
We aren't. Just 2 years ago, another trans 20-something walked into a Christian school in Nashville with a rifle and shot 3 kids.
One thing is that I have to put this yin and yang. I have to equal things out. And they're making this about trans, and there's plenty of non-trans mass shooters as well. And I have my own opinions about all these different things, right? But I don't like it where they're just like going after trans when all the shooters, most shooters are not trans and stuff. As for what those medications could do to a person's mind, that's, it could be in this video, it could be out of it, but I just say it's, I don't like it where you target a certain demographic. That's where I have to equal things out. And stuff like that. And this is Fox News. So there's going to be the stupid religious agenda and everything like that. And the thing is, the shooter had no right to go after kids or anything like that. That's total bullshit. You don't do that. That's a real piece of shit kind of person. I'm glad they killed himself. Instead of taxpayer dollars being wasted on people like him. You know? So.
And 3 adults.
And again, my take on this is that the trans isn't the issue. The issue is that saying anybody that's trans has any mental problems is considered politically incorrect. And because of that, nobody can address these problems because they're afraid to.
Right.
The majority of trans people do not act this way.
Right.
But the ones that do are given free reign because nobody wants to criticize a trans person. Because remember the last time, like, remember whenever that fucking retard, that Battlefield guy, went
that was
out
me.
I don't know what it is. People said they're trans. I have no idea.
Oh, wait,
the
no,
Battlefield clip of like that person
that was somebody else.
That's
somebody else. You're right.
And then
right,
everybody
right.
started getting called transphobic for saying, "Hey, I think this person's cheating in a video game." And then somebody replies, "Oh, so you want to kill trans people, huh?" Big surprise. A lot of people don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
They don't want to deal with that, and
well,
so
they're afraid of being attacked and stuff. It's like. I think that we need to find the truth instead of having both sides, the left and the right, are full of extremists. And this is one reason out of me why I hate both sides. Is because they just seem like to want to just kill each other off, especially seems like the left more so than the right. Or else the right will say you don't contribute to society, or so you shouldn't have a say because you don't have religious beliefs and everything. And I think the thing is, the only way for us to find out with trans or whatever, and what they go through with different hormonal drugs and stuff like that. The real problem is that schools are trying to teach people and brainwash people into a sexuality when we should, like the old days, find out ourselves, and we did. Whether you're gay, bi, lesbian, we found out ourselves. And these days it seems like in schools people are brainwashed more or taught to be into a certain way of thinking. So, I mean...
They don't address this stuff, honestly.
If you want to know whether this stuff does affect on these drugs that they're put on, affects them, we need to have a real non-bias. You know, as much as I hate science and curse science, is that we need, you know, the biology, and we need the blood tests, that we need to know that they actually do trigger stuff. I do know personally that psychotropic drugs, antidepressants, and stuff like that can cause suicidal, homicidal problems in people. So those drugs can hurt you and kill you. And I know because I've been through this myself. You know, I've been on these fucking drugs before. And they destroy your body, and they turn you crazy, lunatic, and everything. So, I mean, the thing is, you know, as they say, you know, trust the, you know, psychiatrists, that's total bullshit and everything. They're getting paid by different pharmaceutical companies as well. And they don't really care about, you know, a lot of psychiatrists, they don't care about if they destroy your body. They just want to dumb you down and everything else and everything. So
because they're afraid of the tribal pushback.
There is tribal pushback.
And that's exactly what's going on here.
There is.
They buried the manifesto
sides,
and
that's
locked
why
down the case.
Uh-oh.
We've seen trans shootings in Colorado and in Maryland.
Not good.
They even shot up an ICE facility in Texas.
Oh.
And it seems like half of Antifa's trans. A couple of they-thems just got popped for firebombing Teslas.
I think this is a big problem with the left, and I go after both sides. Again, I attack both sides. But the left is way more into violence, and saying violence is okay, and do whatever you can, or shoot, or whatever, you know, or riot and other stuff like that, and that's a big part of the left's problem. And if the right, you know, gets a little out of hand, then, you know, they go after them. And the right is about pretty much stopping the violence more, and the left sees it. The left isn't what it used to be. Democrats are a lot different. Democrats of the old would be Republicans of today, just about, which is crazy. But
it's a big problem. It's a huge problem. And the thing is that it's socially acceptable for people like this. And before you say, I saw that there were some people on Reddit that were criticizing my opinion about this. That, like, oh, it's not socially acceptable to say this? Then explain why it's on the cover of magazines.
See, there's the proof.
Why is it on the cover of magazines?
You can see this on Twitter, how much more violent the left is, and everything. And that's not okay. And for me, I'm usually on the middle on things, except when it comes to constitutional rights and stuff like that. I'm not brainwashed, and both sides are a bunch of psychopathic liars and criminals. They make promises and they don't do shit to help and protect American people. They want something to argue with each other about. That's why. They want to always blame each other instead of getting things done.
Magazines. Why is it on t-shirts? Oh, that's right, because it's socially acceptable to do this.
And it should be.
It's obvious.
Listen, I believe if you have to kill for your rights in the way I do. I mean, that's what our forefathers did. They killed, you know, they had a revolution and stuff like that for our basic human rights, you know, and stuff like that. And you have to, I believe in guns and, you know, use them if you have to and everything, but it's like it shouldn't be like that extreme and stuff. And that's where I have a huge problem, where the left in particular is so gung-ho with just killing everybody. And, you know, the right, you know, the religious right and stuff like that, they don't help. And nobody wants to have a middle ground or a common ground. And just be who you are without attacking each other and stuff like that. And it seems like that's a big problem with America and other countries as well. America is just, the old days there'd be a middle ground. Today's kind of shit. You need veterans, you know, World War II, Vietnam, and stuff like that. I say this country isn't worth fighting for. It's not. It isn't. Things need to change to be worth fighting for.
You've got the lieutenant governor of Minnesota wearing a shirt that says, like, trans kids, and it's got a knife. This is the lieutenant governor. What are we doing here?
I say touch my kids, you're dead. Pretty much. And the state going after kids. And the kids, you know, the I've helped, you know, do some raising, growing up and stuff. They're growing up. This stuff like this. I mean, in a day and age where a state could take away kids from you, and I believe that should be only the last resort, not the first resort. Only if parents are abusing their kids and stuff like that, that should happen. And, you know, I've known, when I was young, I knew a lot of girls that were abused. I knew guys that were abused. And stuff like that. And me, I was abused by other people and shit, you know, but...
It's obvious what's happening. People are so weird with stuff like this is because they're not logical. They don't think, they feel.
They feel they don't think, they don't. I mean, by that, you know, it's that there's the hurt feelings and weaponizing the hurt feelings into weapons of mass destruction. That is, you hurt my feelings, I kill you. Type of thing. If you don't, you know, the thing is, it's like hands off my kids. Don't try and tell my kids how to be sexually. They're supposed to find that out themselves, not be brainwashed into it. You know? I keep on saying, not 18 for me, this is my opinion, 21. I knew a guy that went trans back in the 90s, before all this BS that's happening today. He decided he was, you know, in the Navy, he was out of the Navy, he was in the Navy, got out of the Navy. And he always felt that he's more female, stuff like that. And me, it's like, I remember it's like, you want to be that fine, you do it. It's not my fucking business. You know? Thing is, he also wanted to be with a family member of mine, family member of mine. And he said, if you don't, you know, marry me and stuff like this, I would turn to a woman. And that's where I said, like, what the fuck? What the fuck's wrong with you? You can't do that shit. There's something really fucked up in your head. There's something really mentally fucking flawed up there, you know? And
Mayor of Minneapolis says you can't say that.
Oh.
Anybody who is using this as
This guy cried at George Floyd's funeral. This guy got down on his hands and knees crying about George Floyd.
I think without George Floyd was wrong, that's me and stuff. I've been on both sides of law enforcement, good and bad. There's good and bad stuff like that. I've been around shitty cops and stuff, you know, that deserve bad things to happen to them. And I've been around some good cops that are really nice, good people and stuff. Just like everyday people and everything like that. Without George Floyd, that cop, what he did, that wasn't right. Osmond has never been on the receiving stick of a cop, I have. And how you can't breathe when you got that knee there and stuff like that. There's a right way to, you know, arrest somebody, and there's a wrong way of doing it. If you can't do it the right way, get somebody else to do it. Hold them down, but don't crush their, you know, breathing tube and stuff, you know. So
This is the guy right here. George Floyd, by the way, who pointed a gun at a pregnant woman.
That was wrong. I'm not condoning it.
as an opportunity to villainize our trans community or any other community out there has lost their sense of common humanity. We should not be operating out of a place of hate for anyone. We should be operating from a place of love for our kids.
I don't hate anyone who thinks they're trans. I feel sorry for them. But statistically, the trans population has been prone to violence.
Listen, as a person that's been to the other side and stuff like that, and I know about reincarnation, I've had my own stuff, reincarnation. People are not always born into the body that they should be in. They're not. Everything. They're not. So I could give shit what anybody says. You know, say that you're really a man, you're really a girl. Well, that depends on what your soul is. We're not born into the flesh that we want all the time. We're not. We're shoved into these stupid flesh bags that we have. And so, I mean, I see people say, well, I want to be a girl instead of a guy, I want to be a guy instead of a girl. For a lot of them, I get that, and I know they don't because they're mortals. They only see this side of it, how a mortal human being would see it. I see it as being from the other side, and seeing countless lifetimes and stuff like that. So,
remember whenever I said that all of the problems that people have with LGBT have to do with the T? And I got a ton of hate for it. Remember, everybody was mad at me for saying that? I wonder how many more times I have to be right until people will say that I was right. It's not that I'm smart, it's that everybody else is delusional. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
You're gonna think that you're always right if you're getting paid tens of millions and stuff like that. And if you have an audience that is skewed to your reasoning and your psychology. You're always going to believe you're always right. And I know that he said it himself, that he's not always right, but we all say that.
I can't see anything that other people can't see. It's just that I have my eyes open.
That's not villainizing, that's reality. And if you can't recognize reality, you're in danger. We love the American people, especially American children. And if they're troubled and believe there's somehow a girl trapped in a boy's body, we want to get them help.
Yeah.
We don't want to give them hormones and operate on them.
Exactly. This is not even...
This is the fucked up part, is that these douchebags, these pieces of shit think that they have mental problems. Let me tell you, I know things a lot more than you do beyond the other side. We are forced into these flesh bags before we are born. We're forced into them. We don't have a say. We are forced into them. So a girl could be put into a male body. A male could be put into a female body. You're so dumb fucking stupid, and you don't have your eyes wide open. You just see it from your own stupid religious beliefs, or from what you see in this reality. And I can see outside this reality. I've been outside this reality. I've had near-death experiences. I know stuff you guys don't. And those are facts. That you are not always placed in the body you should be in. People are reincarnated as well. People do have to live this dimension that we're in is like a prison. Because in the afterlife, we can go beyond the speed of light, we go speed of thought. Everything else. We don't have pain and suffering. Everything else. We are who we want to be. And I don't like it where some sons of bitches say, oh, they need mental health. Fuck you, bitch.
And also keep in mind, this is not even a popular stance among trans people. Or actually, that's not true. It's not a universal stance among trans people. The idea of children transitioning is a hotly contested topic inside of even trans communities.
Yeah,
society shouldn't be trying to produce more trans kids. We shouldn't be encouraging an emotional disorder or whatever.
Trans people have 42% suicide rate, man. That's sad. I think it's also really sad. And I think it's really
It is
disappointing.
because I've tried suicide before. Everything, unfortunately, kind of didn't take. But, anyways, yeah, I've tried before and everything, so I know what it's like to be there. I know what it's also like for people to attack you on not what you believe, but what you know is real. When it comes to UFOs and being able to see the paranormal. I was always different. Family knew I was different. And most of the time they just tell me not to talk about that stuff. You know, my dad being around classified installations and UFO stuff and everything. And he said for me not to talk about it. They told me not to talk about it. Not only that, but stuff to come down on my father. That's one of the biggest reasons why I waited until after his death to talk about. Because I'm afraid so I could go after my father. Being around classified stuff. But there's things that I know about that are beyond human comprehension. And stuff. And, you know, they say, you know, other people don't understand that. I think they're dumb and stupid if they don't understand that. Because for me, that is my life. But
that these people aren't given the compassion and the understanding that I think that they, as human beings, deserve. And I think that there's been a lot of misuse of their identity by people with ulterior motives and narcissistic pathological tendencies that want to use them as a cross that they can nail themselves up on, that have ended up demonizing the trans movement, have made these people into minstrels for them to dance around with and act about how woke they are and how, you know, how forward thinking and progressive they are. Meanwhile, you have people like this that have legitimate mental health problems that need to have professional help that get ignored because you have these Karens that keep doing this and they try to protect this.
I don't know. Mortals don't understand this that much. They don't. I know things, and if when you've gone through your death experience and seen the other side, you also know that you're not given the body that you should have, or that your soul is. Your soul is different from the human flesh body. A lot different. And I don't like any motherfuckers going around saying, you know, hey, they need mental help or this and that. That depends on the person. If there's anybody to blame, it'd be the schools. What's taught in schools. If they're being brainwashed to think a certain way. I'm always going to say this. All people should be loved. No matter who, you know, who they are. And there's stuff that I think is crazy and kind of sickly about getting your dicks cut off and vaginas and this and that. I don't, because I can actually get sick thinking about that. But that's who they want to be without being brainwashed. Again, hands off the kids. Once you're 18, I believe you should be 21. Do whatever you want. And, I mean, I just don't like how some of these militants and people are using kids as puppets. And stuff like that. They're, you know, I don't think Svengali is the right thing, but I think there's something else. And they see this as like a circus, and they see this as a show, and they see kids as a way to be their soldiers. They're soldiers of fortune for their political, social ideology. And you can say same thing about religious people as well.
Because they're helping people. That's the big problem. That's the big issue. And that's the point where, and this is the difference between performative empathy and actual empathy, is that performative empathy seeks to be seen as good, and true empathy seeks to do good. The people that are enabling this, gassing it up, and trying to obfuscate where problems are, and trying to use every single...
I feel like I should just have my own type of show type thing. Just not listen to these people. And I kind of lost my train of... Okay, it's bad. My train of thought here. For anybody that says, I feel like I'm not a boy, I don't feel like I'm a girl, I feel like I should be a boy or girl instead of the body that I have. You should go through psychological process from psychologists that do not have a political or sociological agenda. You should ask, why do you feel this way? And you don't need to see a psychologist. I mean, you don't. I think people should just be better to each other about that. And I can be stupid sometimes and say, are you crazy? Not crazy. We all need to watch our mouths. I'd say, why do you feel this? Why do you think that you should be a boy or a girl or a woman or a man? And was it because you were taught this? Did somebody tried to insinuate? Did somebody try to tell you that you should be something or someone else? What makes you feel this way? Why do you think this? What made you come upon this reasoning, this thinking into where you're born in the wrong body and you should change it? Those are real questions. You know, were you brainwashed into this thinking, or were you told to think like this, or is this actually how you really feel? We go from there. I mean, a lot of ways, I don't care to really hear what they probably have to say.
One of these issues is a soapbox where they can talk about how good of a person they are. These aren't empathetic people. They're narcissists. They're parasites. And they're literally sucking the life out of this community. They're damaging any sort of movement, any sort of progress the trans community has made at all in the last 20 years. These people are setting it back faster and farther than Donald Trump could ever even dream of. What do you think does more damage to the trans community?
That's because they're very militant. But the thing is, you can say about the religious right is militant and how they think against trans, lesbians, gays, or bis. And so, you have this yin-yang effect. Light, darkness, both sides. When one rises to attack the other side must counteract and attack the other. Instead of letting people who they want to be. One is attacking the other. One side takes one and goes the other. This is a problem. I think people should just be where the fuck they want to be. You know, sexuality-wise. And we wouldn't have this much of a problem. As long as you're not brainwashed into a way of thinking, or told to be a certain way, sex-wise.
Having a shooter like this that goes out and does all this stuff, that it's found out they potentially transitioned at 17 years old, or Donald Trump signing an executive order. What do you think really does more damage from the perspective of the public and how people perceive things? I'm going to tell you, this does, and it's not even close.
This is. And doctors should stop profiting from it. Great Britain ended child sex change surgeries. They said it's barbaric, and they're right.
For kids, it's predatory. If you're going after kids, that's being a sex predator. I call Gavin Newsom a sex predator. He is. These other people try to brainwash kids. You're sexual predators. Let them find their own way. These are kids are supposed to be kids. Go play the playground, play with toys, or Barbie dolls, whatever. Kids need to be kids. They're supposed to be taught writing, arithmetic, and really how to socialize with other people. They're not that much anymore like they used to. Kids are being dumbed down by this other stuff. By politics. Gone backward.
And politicians should stop elevating the trans issue like it's the civil rights struggle of the 21st century. You see it all over Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Minneapolis will continue to be a safe haven for our trans community.
For being a safe haven for transgender individuals.
We have... Oh, man. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Oh, fuck. What is going on?
And you have
these
people, this is the issue, right? Is they're using this so much as they don't give a fuck. You think they give a fuck about trans? They don't give a fuck about them. Like, they don't care about this at all. All they care about is getting votes. That's it.
Sue them for gender-affirming care. Yes, we are not going to scapegoat our transgender community.
When our children tell us who they are.
Look at this stupid bitch's shirt.
It has a knife.
Protect, and she got a knife.
Yeah.
Somebody got to ask this dumb bitch why the fuck you thought it was a good idea to go and wear a knife with this. It says protect with trans kids. This is a joke, bro. It's an
any motherfucker that wants this stuff happening with kids is a sexual predator and be called out as one. What you do 18, 21, I believe, again, like you say, 21, that should be the age where you can do this stuff. And one reason you have this extreme side is because you have some extremists on the right that say that if you think that you should be a man or woman instead of being, the body that you have right now, and say people are mentally insane or mentally fucked up if they think like that. That's wrong with them. So now you have this other side, the militant side. Both sides can be militant. That's the problem.
Absolute fucking joke. She's acting lieutenant too? How big are transgender societies? They're about 0.7% of the population, 0.6, 0.7, somewhere around there. That's what it would be in the clean house in Minnesota. I mean, I don't really know about that, but like symbolizes a genital mutilation. I mean, I don't know. Like it symbolizes fighting back, right? You two can't. Yeah, the thing is that they have no shame. She a 2%. No, the problem is that you have to call this shit out for what it is. And I think that the people like her that have enabled a culture that rationalizes, justifies, and glorifies the idea of protecting and being violent in the face of a perceived type of injustice, you are the ones responsible for elevating and turning up the temperature and convincing these crazy people to go out on shootings. It's 0.8. Is it 0.8? Yeah, I think it's a little bit less than 1%. Come on, Asman, you know exactly. They can't really transition to the other gender. That's why they're depressed. HRT does nothing in the body. Well, you cannot completely change your gender. Like, you can't. Like, it's just not possible. Now, maybe in the future you might be able to, but right now you don't have the technology to go completely from 1 to 2. You can go from 1 to like 1.8, 1.9. You can go from 2 to like,
I mean, one thing is with doing this with kids is that later on, some of these kids that have transitioned, you find out some of them are brainwashed, and they wish they had they've had these blockers, hormone blockers or stuff, and wish it had been done. I believe that 0.8% or 1%, I believe that's BS, but that's me. It's a lot higher than that. But
a 1.1, 1.2, but you can't go all the way from 1 to 2 or from 2 to 1. Like, it's not possible yet.
It is our job as grown-ups to listen and to believe them.
That's right. Kids should be able to make decisions about their sexuality whenever they're under 18 years old. That's a great idea.
You're like a kid, so you're a fucking sexual predator if you're going after kids. They're supposed to be learning reading, writing, arithmetic, history, how to play with each other in the playground and socialize without killing each other, without getting into fights. What the fuck is wrong with you bitches? Listen, be whatever sexual. I can't say be whatever sexuality you want, but don't mess with kids. That's a blood red line. You don't cross.
Yeah. Wow. Protect trans kids. Man.
Groomers. Yeah.
I think this issue is like flat Earth. And I think it is going to completely torpedo any sort of liberal or Democrat policies that get behind it. Because it's not about how big the issue.
I'll be right back. I really need to take a leak. Hope nothing else happens with the audio. Hold on.
is. It's very obvious that trans is a very small minority issue, and it's not really indicative of the larger problems that face society as a whole.
How big or small it is. I don't know, but there's a lot of people in the streets protesting about it, no matter how small, and stuff like that. I think that trans rights matters when it comes to the religious right, attacking them, saying that they're a bunch of crazy people. They have right to attack back. If people just let people be who they want to be, as long as they're not hurting other people and infringing on other people's rights and beliefs, I say fuck off. As long as you're 18, I believe you should be 21. You know.
It's not. It's a minor, literally less than 1% issue. But ask yourself the question, would you trust the mental facilities of a person who could truly believe that the earth is flat? Because I certainly wouldn't. I'd think they're fucking crazy, out of their mind, and I wouldn't trust their judgment on anything. And that's what this issue is doing to the Democrats. They are killing themselves with this issue.
So when you're not
the Democrats and people that I know, they used to vote for them went Republican, is because they believed that illegals should have more rights to be put above other Americans, that they should be given a free hand and everything, and that, you know, trans stuff is above, you know, other stuff as well. And the biggest thing with the left also is that they support more criminals than they do the American cause. And keeping rapists, murderers, child sex traffickers, human traffickers, they believe in letting them just run rapid on the streets. There's a total fuck up that you know, Democrats have done. And they shot their own foot off with what they're doing with that. Like I said, Democrats of old will be Republicans today. There's a total 180 of what Democrats were.
10-year-old tells you he's a horse. Do you let him sleep out in the barn and eat hay?
I guess so.
What are we doing
What's
here?
wrong with eating hay?
Just a few years
Virtue
ago,
signaling.
the psychiatric community classified transgenderism as a mental illness. Then doctors went woke and removed it as a condition, and now millions of young Americans are identifying themselves as trans.
What the fuck? You're saying that it's a mental disorder? I think you're a fucking mental fuck up. If you think that it is. Let it be who the fuck you want to be. This is why they're going out with knives, guns, and stuff like that. They don't want people like you or whatever telling them how they should be. You have no right to do that. This is why they're out with blood guts. Because they're scared. Of the extreme right, of the right, of religious people. Going back, trying to institutionalize. This would happen. They would institutionalize people that believe that, you know, they should, you know, be able to transition. Or gay or lesbian. They would put you in a mental facility. They could do this. Family could do it. You need three people to institutionalize you. Or two. I believe it's three. I believe it's three. You need a psychiatrist, you need family, or whatever, or state. It's it's two or three. But,
and getting high fives. When someone has an illness, we should treat it,
I believe
instead of
fucking
affirm it. We don't celebrate schizophrenia. We don't.
This is mental fuck up like him doing this shit. You're causing them to go out blood guts with guns and knives or whatever. Because this is the alt-right. This is what the alt-right is. I hate both sides. I hate both of them because all you're doing is making things worse. If you stay out of other people's business, this wouldn't be happy. It wouldn't have this militarism. This is why. They've got blood and guts. It's because you don't have a right to say that they have mental disorder with stuff like this. You don't. I think you're one that's mentally diseased, a cancer, and a mental disorder. But anyways, there is something else. Let me see. I'll get to the other one that he did here. See what this is about. Otherwise, I need to go on to the other stuff on mental health institutions, prison and stuff for mental people and stuff. Because I've said what I watched it over and over again. It just gets stupid, and I get more pissed off these pieces of shit. Both sides are just fucking mental fuck ups. So
This is more of the information about this person.
Through Sunday.
Yep.
We go now to Lucas Tomlinson with the latest from the administration. Lucas.
Good morning, Ashley and Todd. The shooter was born Robert Westman, but changed his name to Robin 6 years ago. First Lady Melania Trump offering her condolences.
6 years ago, you're 22 years old. That means you did it when you're 16. So your parents are enabling this. The parents should have some degree of accountability here.
I don't think so. Unless they told him, her to do this.
I mean, if you're gassing your kid up and probably ignoring signs that your kid is delusional and deranged, at what point, like, why is nobody talking about the parents here?
In quote, "My heart is shattered for the families and friends of the victims of today's senseless and depraved violent act. The shooting began during a school-wide mass marking the beginning of the school year at around 8:30 local time yesterday morning. The shooter opened fire with a rifle, shotgun, and pistol, all legally purchased weapons, according to police. 2 children ages 8 and 10 were killed. 17 others were wounded, including 14 children and 3 elderly individuals."
It's crazy because the biggest illegal crimes are usually with the illegal guns that person isn't supposed to have, I think. So
also, according to police, his mother previously worked at the school. FBI Director Cash Patel is calling this a hate crime, posting...
That's how he had the whole layout of the church area that he shot up.
I don't believe, and there's some other lawyers I've talked to about this. I don't believe in stupid hate crimes, hate speech. Because, let me tell you, the forefathers, there's all this stuff, and freedom of speech is freedom of speech. You can't have laws on hate speech, can't have laws on hate crimes. A crime is a crime. Murder is murder. To have hate crimes is more a divisive, political type of thing used for that, for politics, political, religious reasoning, stuff like that, race reasoning. It divides more. A crime is a crime. And they're playing black people that hate me for my color, for white people that hate black people for their color, etc. It's ridiculous because people have the freedom of speech. If you don't like their freedom of speech, you block them. You stay away from them. Or whatever. Or if they harass you, call the law on them for harassment or whatever. So I do not like the stupid hate crime, terroristic speech stuff that I consider freedom of speech. What happened here is not freedom of anything. It is a crime. It is murder. It is murder. An attempted murder. But hate crimes shouldn't be all this BS.
The FBI is investigating this shooting as an act of domestic terrorism and hate crime targeting Catholics.
It's undeniably a hate.
It's not terrorism because it isn't a group so much. What happened was murder. Multiple murder, homicide, attempted murder, that's what it is. And I believe they're trying to politicize it, saying this is anti-Christian, anti-Catholic, and it's not a terrorist organization. This isn't ISIS.
Hate crime targeting Catholics. Anybody saying it's not is just a demon.
I will continue to provide updates on our ongoing...
It's a person that hates God, which a person has the right to do. To hate religion, a person has the right to do that. What he didn't have the right to do is go after kids. He's going to do that, he should have just killed himself. Better thing is, he should have gotten help. Was there any evidence to go for? We need to know more about, I'd say, what happened before what led up to this. Obviously, he hates religions, Jesus, the religious stuff. I don't like religious BS either. I don't. Because I believe in God that loves the people does not allow bad things to happen. If I was God, I would not allow any of the shit that happens on earth to happen. I wouldn't. I'd be for enlightenment and stuff. I would decimate the governments, totally destroy them, have enlightenment. People learn, telepathy, psychic abilities, healing, and stuff like that. There wouldn't be animal violence. I'd be a lot better than the stupid gods people worship today.
Investigation with the public as we are able. Now, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem says the shooter at the Catholic school was a 23-year-old man claiming to be transgender. The words "for the children" and "where is your God" and "kill Donald Trump" were written on a rifle magazine. That's according to Kristi Noem. She also said, quote, "Our deepest prayers are with the children, parents, families, educators, and Christians everywhere. We mourn with them. We pray for them."
I would call it nutball. What he did was wrong, was murder. That's all I have to say on it. I said my piece. This stuff. You can have, they have their own bullshit narrative. Try to spin this, oh my God, I hate Christians. There's a reason to hate, mainstream gods. There's a good reason to. I've been through a lot of shit in my life. I know a lot of other people would say, fuck your God, where's your God for me, and this and that. And some of us would be better gods than the ones that you're worshiping. And I'm pretty fucked up. But I tell you this, if I was God, I'd cleanse my mind of all impurities. I'd cleanse all the other people's minds as well. Animals, there wouldn't be any of this stuff happening. I think it's a weakness to believe in gods. It's a mental weakness. I think it's a mental illness in some ways. Because there's something really fucked up about it. But anyways. I want to get into this. I hope I don't get copyrighted. If anything, I'll just let me see here. How many? I forget copyright, right? I won't get copyrighted on Kick. If I do get flagged for this, I say go to Kick. Same name, Thomas Hardcore Media. Let's see. This is from PBS here. Let's see.
They are schizophrenic.
So this is from Frontline PBS official. The new asylums are prisons and jails. Now, I've been through the system, and I don't like the bullshit that's going on with jails. prisons housing mentally ill people. That should never happen. They should be put in special mental facilities like they have in Britain and stuff, where they are monitored by medical officials, psychologists, psychiatrists. Prisons are not a place where they have those officials there. They're making billions of dollars off mentally ill people, and it should be illegal. We have a big injustice system that's happening in our prisons and jails. Law enforcement.
Schizophrenic.
Tried to kill myself about 17 times.
Paranoid.
This is a plot by the government.
And psychotic.
Thorazine me out, leave me for lost.
But they
again, I have to say this is for news, transformative. I'm doing this because of my own experiences. I have a lot more experience than most people do on things. So, I'm offering, my own experiences, stuff like that. I'm not stealing anybody's content. I'm adding to it. This is news. I'm reporting. I'm adding my own experiences. Again, shout out Frontline PBS. Official. Leave a comment. I haven't seen all this yet, but so it tells me
they are not in mental hospitals. They are in prison.
Prisons have become the new asylums, the new state mental hospital facilities.
Again, I've been around this. I've seen this. When I was in jail, I was appalled and pissed off at the piece of shit officers that if they got attacked, they deserved it for the way they treated people with mental issues. Because I saw one stupid female guard say, if you don't get off, if you don't change beds right now, I'm writing you up with a felony charge. She wrote on a felony charge because he didn't want to leave his bed and change to another one. He took 5 minutes extra that she's willing to. Why did this bitch, this cunt, do this? Let me tell you why. Because she was pissed off at other prisoners and general population staring at her sexy body. She then got pissed. She took what happened from those places. I know because I saw this, what was happening from the AirPods and how guys are Googling her. She would proceed to go to our pod, take it out on people that didn't deserve it. This happens a lot. The fucking piece of shit bitch.
Tonight, Frontline takes an unprecedented journey inside one of America's largest prison systems.
Once they get out of control, you do have to use force on them.
And investigates the stark reality of locking thousands of the mentally ill behind bars.
These piece of shit people that know nothing of how to handle mental patients. They don't know what they left brute force or putting out charges and felonies. In mental facilities, there's a lot of bad shit that happens there. I know because I've been in mental facilities myself. Because of my attempted suicide and my beliefs, not beliefs, but what I know about UFOs, my experiences, and how people, trash talk me and stuff like this, say that stuff is Satan and everything. If it had been for my parents and some other people, I'd be in a mental institution. I'd be dead in a mental institution because I would have killed them. We're trying to do stuff. Give me shot up, and everything. I would have tried to kill him. But
the attitude has been, you lock people away, then they're no longer a problem.
Prison is simply not the place to provide mental health care.
Why have America's prisons become the new asylums?
You are.
You know, I didn't get your name. My name's Alex. What's yours?
Jesse Paulette from Corbala. On the other side, 3 courses, 450 degrees, molecule 3175 away from Luther.
Okay. Are you giving me directions?
Yeah, I'm giving you 5 minutes.
Okay.
Devon,
yeah.
Are you on medications that you haven't taken today?
It looks like
yes.
Yes, you did. Or
no, I did not take them.
Are you out of them?
Yes, I am.
What apartment do you live in?
Apartment 18.
Apartment 18?
Yes, 1-8.
Very good.
Who do you live there with?
I stayed there by myself.
Okay. Do you have a phone at your house?
That's not good.
No.
Okay. If something happened where you need to get hold of family in an emergency,
yes,
who would you call?
I would call nobody really. I don't have any family right now.
Do you have a brother or a sister or a mother or father?
No, I do not.
An aunt or an uncle that may be able to help you today?
No.
Okay.
Where are you from? What city?
I'm from, I don't know, brother.
Scenes like this have become all too familiar throughout America. As the nation's psychiatric hospitals shut.
I just have to speak from my own experience and paranormal and UFO experience, how stupid church people were and saying that stuff of Satan and demons are in you and stuff like this. And it's like how my mother and some other people in Valley said, who you saw was your granddad. Or who you saw, and other people could verify this. It wasn't me who said it, they did. Or they said who you saw was the kid that was run over at the house that I lived in. I've always been different from you humans. I always have been. And I always say I don't belong here. I don't. So it's like these stupid trash religious people from church. Even though what I saw was wrong, I always knew I was right, and I've always been. Especially these days, for the truth is out, about UFOs being real, ETs, stuff like that. Is that these dumbasses say, Satan, you're Satan, yeah, Satan. You want to kill yourself sometimes, because these people are killing you. These pieces of shit are killing you. They're calling you names all the time. You're being abused. And you don't have other people already talk to you unless they've been around classified programs. And you see the rest of the world can be so evil out there and stuff. And you don't have people talk to you. This is my experience.
Shut down. Police departments everywhere were left to handle the growing number of mentally ill on the streets.
Watch your head. Coming up here to open the door. I can't let you in. You guys are gonna kill me and all that. She thought we was gonna kill her. What's your name, sir?
Why'd she think that?
You know she's crazy.
Husband was telling me I saw for meds. So you guys just gonna do a voluntary thing tonight? Yeah. She's set to go. She wants to go.
Once you had hundreds of thousands of people leaving the mental hospitals, they suddenly, obviously, didn't become mentally healthy. They went to the streets, they became homeless, and then they eventually began the cycle.
The people are asking, why did they close down these mental hospitals? There's a lot of abuse. Physical and sexual abuse that also happen there, as well as these insane asylums. So I mean, that thing, you know, where Asmongold said make insane asylums great again. These are it's an idiot thing to say because they've never been there. I have. And you have no rights whatsoever. They shoot you up and stuff to shut you up. And they kill you off at these facilities. If you're housed in jail or prison with mental health stuff, they don't shoot you up with drugs. You die a different way. If you're in asylums, you die one way. If you're at jail or prison, you die a different way. And stuff like that. But for these insane asylums, they still have mental facilities. They do. It's just you have to have people from the state and judges get involved. It's a very lengthy process. And the way it's skewed now is that they'd rather hold you in a prison or jail, which is really wrong. Because these stupid guards don't know how to handle people with mental problems. You handle them differently than from felons, from murderers, rapists, killers, gang members, stuff like that. Handle them different. But these stupid ass guards don't know how to do that. They don't want they that's force. GP, general population thugs. You handle those people differently than people with mental problems, mental disorders.
Into the system that cannot say no.
Have you ever considered or attempted suicide? No. Do you plan to harm yourself now or while you're incarcerated?
Well, most of them are nonviolent crimes. They're crimes against property.
I mean, when I was going through the process at LA County Jail and shit like that and everything, right? It's like they ask you the same questions, and there are some guys that purpose would say, I didn't kill myself. They had no intention of that whatsoever. You know which ones would mean it, which didn't. And a lot of people said, I'm going to kill myself because they're hoping they'd get let out. That it could happen. It's like some one guard, you know, I was afraid to go to Wayside. And some people said, hey, just say you're going to kill yourself or something like that. They won't. And you know what the guard did to me? I said I didn't do something to myself. Because Wayside was actually alright for me. The jail there. Until the last part. It did with political, so that's bad. But anyways, so it's like, you know, I pretend, I didn't kill myself. The guard, the big black Bubba guard, he's like, go ahead, do it. So it's like, that didn't work. It's like, well, I could try to kill myself. I don't feel like it. I just don't. I'm not feeling it today. The vibes aren't there for me to do something like that. But man, the ones that did try suicide, so they were put in a hole, very dark place and stuff like that. From what I hear, stuff like that. Wayside actually was not that bad until you know I heard like later on it was bad. I heard, but
the petty theft out of the local 7-Eleven store, or even a criminal trespass. A person with a mental issue goes.
For the guys that you know, really could commit suicide and put padded. They're you can't move your arms or anything. It's better not to fake that. You know, tell guys like, don't do that shit. I mean, unless you're really thinking it. And you shit on yourself, you piss on yourself. You can't use a toilet. You just totally shit and piss on yourself. This is a no-no. Don't say that. Don't say you're going to kill yourself. If you are, whatever. It's not worth it. You can't use a toilet or anything. Can't use a can. It's already bad enough when you're going through processing. You have to piss and shit in front of everybody and everything else. It's not a beautiful thing. It's the worst thing.
In there to try and get shelter from the elements outside, and they start acting up. And the property owner, calls the police, and then as soon as the police step in, they end up bringing them to jail, and here we go.
Today, there are nearly 500,000 mentally ill being held in jail.
You're fucking lucky if you're put into that. Me, I was put with a lot of people, and some crazy-ass people. Crazy people. Or they just went off. We're put with 8 other people in processing, and sometimes there'd be somebody that just went off in my processing cell or another one. And I just like this. It's like I don't want to part of it. Everyone else just like keep to themselves. Like I don't want part of this shit. I want to get into a cell or whatever. I just want to get the fuck out of this piss hole. You know what I'm saying?
Jails and prisons throughout America. That's 10 times the 50,000
It's cold. It is cold. Those places. And the reason why they have cold is because if it's hot, it breeds violence. If it's cold, you have to be all bundled up and not do anything. It's psychological reasons why they have cold versus hot.
That remain in psychiatric hospitals.
I want to see the doctor to get my mask. Get out of my face, you filthy bitch.
This massive incarceration of inmates.
This is another thing. These stupid nurses, so-called nurses, at these jails, they don't know anything about your past health. They don't have access to all your records. Sometimes they can up. It's a lengthy process. It can take a long time. People die in jail and prison just waiting to try and get the medicine that they need. This happens. So before we commit a crime or something, we might want to think about that. Taking blood pressure and other stuff, or you taking what is it called? Sugar diabetic stuff. You could die. They don't give a shit if you die. They don't give a shit. They don't care. And this is our problem. Instead of just putting it into a doctor medical hospital. Hospitals don't end up for them either. And they just need to make facilities for the mentally ill is what they need. And insane asylums, those should be for the worst. There should be mental health facilities. And where they have access to people's data, health records and stuff, not jail and prison. That's supposed to be for the violent people, not the mentally ill.
Severe mental illness has created enormous problems for prisons across the country.
There was a failure in society. There was no safety net for all of these persons who were no longer being treated by mental health agencies, and as a result, many of those persons who would have been in state hospitals are now in state prisons.
Yeah.
So in addition to being the director of the Department of Corrections, I became a de facto director of a major mental health system.
Like I keep saying, the reason why they shut down all this place is because there was abuse. Physical, sexual abuse with those patients, and how they were committed was it's criminal, and how some people are committed by family and other people. Or family can plot against you if they don't like you, and they want the money and they don't want someone else getting it. They just have them committed, or they put them in jail, or make up a crime or whatever. I see people put in the prison over made-up crimes from people that want family money and stuff like that. Just evil sons of bitches.
Ohio corrections officials agreed to give Frontline unprecedented access to their prison system to see firsthand the difficulties of coping with the thousands of mentally ill inmates in their custody.
Just feel like I'm suffering, man. I feel like I'm suffering every day. I just feel like I'm suffering. I feel like I'm just in a real small
and
lock.
some people, okay, I don't know about each of these guys. I don't. It's case by case basis. But I remember being in some pods where guys would just act up, just blow up, and sometimes we'd have to kick these sons of bitches out. Or we actually had to tell the guards, get them the fuck out of here. Or else, for different reasons, where it's case by case. Sometimes they deserve it, sometimes they don't. But usually they do deserve that. Usually they just fuck up. Not all the time, but usually.
Room. And no matter how much I kick on the door, no matter how much I scream, man.
The thing is, they should be put by each other because they can end up going after each other. They start not to like the way a person looks, or may look at them the wrong way. They can act up. That's totally fucked up and wrong how they have them placed together like that. They should have them spaced apart, away from each other.
Don't nobody hear me, man.
What about you, Mr. Simmons?
They say I'm paranoid schizophrenic.
Are you on forced medication?
Yeah.
What medications are you on?
This is group therapy at the maximum security prison in Lucasville, Ohio.
Didn't like a lot of things I've seen in my childhood, a lot of things I've seen in my household. Start having hate inside of me.
Come here,
oh,
man.
they're putting these cages for the... Is it just for the interview or because of other things? That's what I would
Bring me here. I haven't got to see it. What's new? All these? These?
Yeah.
What's this? This new?
Yeah.
What drove you to this point, man? Last time I seen you was doing good.
The bottom dropped out. And I just couldn't think of nothing else.
Or you could say at least he's doing it to himself, not somebody else. Could say that because it could be just somebody else. Or do it to himself, somebody else. But out here not doing it at all, right? But those places are a shit can. You know, it's like it's gonna happen. People do kill themselves.
16% of our prison population in the state of Ohio, which reflects basically a national average, are persons who've been diagnosed with a mental illness, which means that they require an awful lot of attention. Many of them require hospitalization. They require major regimens of psychiatric medications. And they are a population that would be at risk not only in the institutions, but when they leave the confines of our correctional facilities.
Ohio spent the last decade reforming their system and is now considered a model for providing mental health care behind bars.
I said, can we get a witness? Can we hear the Bible verse up there, Reverend Jack Back?
We've had inmates bang his head on the wall, scream, shout, yell, kicking the doors, kicking the bars. That go on forever.
Yeah.
Throwing human waste on the range, that's something that happens regular. And if somebody new that would come in here and experience something like that, they'd probably turn right back around and leave. Say, I don't want to come back in this place. But, you get used to it after a while.
In Ohio, mentally ill inmates are separated from the prison's general population and housed in mental health units where they can be treated.
You have to have a little more patience here.
You have to have a lot more patience here, not a little, because it gets pretty frustrating at times. Have to tell somebody to do something 3, 4, 5, 6 times before they do it. A lot of them simply don't understand the rules. If they're paranoid about something, you know, they think somebody's out to get them. It's just a different world in here than it is in the rest of the prison. This is another world inside of the world.
You have this population of seriously mentally ill, and simply keeping them locked up isn't going to do any good for the inmates themselves or for the prison. So you bring the treatment part of it into it, and maybe this is the first time some of these guys have received treatment. We have medication here, we have the psychiatrist here, we have nurses here 24 hours a day. And
listen, my own experiences, state, local, psych, and stuff like that they have are especially the bottom of the barrel. They don't know what the fuck they're doing a lot of the time. They don't. Only few do have the mental capacity to know how to treat a person and stuff like that. They have how law enforcement, Bureau of Prisons, and how they can conflict with how, you know, general population's mental health and how they like to do things and decide like to do things. You have conflicts with that and everything. But usually state, local, they don't. They're terrible. Usually. I don't know about this place. I don't, so could be different.
some of the guys here probably have not had that level of care, maybe not ever in their lives.
Now, you haven't heard voices.
No.
But you do have some special abilities, right?
Yeah, mental telepathy.
Yeah, which is different than voices.
Yeah, it's a lot different, a lot more friendly here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and who's the main person that you have telepathy with?
The main one is Miss Hillary Clinton now, and then the next one is George Bush. Then I talk to Miss Oprah Winfrey sometimes.
How is she friendly to you?
It's the power builder of my all well-being.
We've projected about 25 or 30% of those individuals that have...
I think because people can say that somebody's so-called abilities can be mental health issues. They with me is the other person can tell me that was what was happening. They tell me that was what happened. That's how I know. Otherwise, anybody can say you're full of shit. There's a difference. Big difference. And plus, some stuff that are remote viewed has been on satellite photos. Has been confirmed. And other stuff like that. Miss Hillary Clinton. Was it when she was hot looking or the old one? Maybe we should move on.
Have a chronic mental illness will always need someone making sure that they take their medication, having somebody mediate in terms of interpersonal relationships that they might have with staff as well as have with other inmates, having a population or environment where people understand that illness and yet keep in mind what the security needs are.
D-O-I-C, and I'll say what the I want out my goddamn mouth to any one of you bitch motherfuckers, and I'll rape all you bitches. I'll rape your wife, give me shots, I'll rape your wife, all you bitches.
Man, say it. Find the sister.
You want your light on? You want your light on?
Oh, shit. Oh, damn. Yeah, man, I saw this happen in jail. There was some guys, one of the security guards said, preach it. Fight the system. That's what got you in here.
Is this what you wanted me to have? Okay. And this is what we've been talking about on numerous occasions. You want PC because you don't feel safe.
Benny Anthony, a paranoid schizophrenic, has spent much of his life in and out of psychiatric hospitals. In 1987, within weeks of being released, he had a paranoid episode and set his girlfriend's house on fire.
Protective custody, I will feel comfortable.
But you're kind of like in protective custody, remember? We discussed this, Mr. Anthony.
But I want protective custody.
You're in your own cell.
I want protective custody.
All right.
I want protective custody. Because I'm scared.
Okay, and what are you afraid of?
And honestly, it shouldn't be brick walled like that. It should be padded. This is another thing I don't like about how these prisons and jails have brick. If they're to have these, mental, just for mental health, they need to have padded on the sides, because you're prone to. I do it the hard a lot, make things harden it up and everything, but making my bones stronger and stuff like that. Anyways, leave a bruise. Anyways, that's what I think. Because like in mental hospital stuff like that, if they get really bad, they're put in the pad area. But that's like if they get really bad.
Anthony has believed for years that people are trying to kill him.
They was from Texas. It's coming out of Texas.
Well,
some of them have syringes of poison, electric battery powered volts on them where they can pierce your heart or your stomach, and some of them have wooden bats and guns.
I say the Reverend Superman and then woke up.
They don't look like GP people. They don't. There's a look GP, violent criminals versus mental health people. Look a lot different. Jail population, criminals, they look like they can kill you anytime. They're going to do something to you. These guys, mental health ones, look like they don't know why they're there, where they are, what world they're in.
Looks like a busy weekend. Starting Friday, inmate Taylor down in J4 tried to hang himself. They put him upstairs on a watch.
Each morning, the mental health staff meets to discuss inmates who are in crisis.
Inmate Waller was placed on observation status for possible psychosis. He has not been med compliant with his Risperdal all weekend.
Okay, anything else on any of these folks?
There are at least 2 others that are on their way here that have put toothbrushes up under the skin in their arm. The difference is that Taylor had 2 toothbrushes up his arm and they were only able to retrieve 1. The other one started to scoot up out of sight, so they're just monitoring that at the present time.
That ball.
When inmates need acute care, they're brought here to the prison infirmary.
Brought me up here on constant watch because they was afraid I was going to do something, and they thought I was either going to try to kill myself or seriously hurt myself again.
I'm going to take my meds and he changed.
Well, they've already decided to do that. It might take a few more days for that to take effect for you. So we'll talk to you some more later on and see how that's progressing for you.
Hey, Waller, you seem kind of upset. I'd be willing to talk to you and maybe we can resolve all this.
Resolve what? I was doing fine.
God, man, I just feel like crying over these people. I wish I could help. I hate these people. I actually care for because I mean the violent people, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing stuff with just these people. They don't know better, they just don't. And I remember in jail, one of the guys in charge of the pod, black guy who just say his first name was Chris, and he said that these guys from other pods that are above or whatever had put hits on some people, and he said he wasn't going to put the hits out because they're mentally ill people. They'll fuck us, right? He said, I'm not going to put, people put hits on people and don't know what they're doing. They're mentally ill. I mean, it's one thing you don't have hits on people that know better, right? They said those that don't know what the fuck they're doing, that's fucking ridiculous. That's stupid ridiculous. Thing is, he could have a hit on himself for not putting hits out. That's brave. But,
we're gonna kiss you and this and that, and I go see this, whoever this other psych doctor is, and...
Have you not been taking your medication? Is that true?
I don't feel I need it. And somebody...
Providing effective psychiatric care in a maximum security prison is extraordinarily difficult. Many patients decompensate and become extremely depressed, hopeless, suicidal. Many turn to...
This isn't for the faint of heart. I just put it out here because of my own experiences and stuff like that. I'm trying to educate people on what's real, the reality of this stuff. This is still not for the faint of heart, but I hope the right people sometime will see it and everything, So, unfortunately, not enough people will. Because YouTube now is just kind of southbound all that stuff.
Severe self-mutilation or acts of self-injury.
This is the type of thing that gets a lot of views a lot of time. Especially with me having my own experiences. People expect a person not to be in the middle on stuff. They expect them to be only right or left on certain stuff,
And many inmates that also suffer from severe mental illness become delusional and hallucinate.
26, can you hear me?
I can tell you one thing, being in a cell, you're going to hallucinate and hear a lot more voices. And that's not just the voices of other inmates screaming and yelling. And if people don't get out enough, you get what's called cabin fever. It used to be well known from the 1800s how people would be cooped up in their cabin. They'd have to stay in their cabin for months at a time. Things happen with COVID as well. You get cabin fever, you hear voices if you're cooped and don't get out. You see things that are not there. That means you need to get out too, or else you're, like with me, antibiotics fucked up your head, or concussion did. When I had a concussion, I was hearing voices. I thought people were after me while I burned a house down. I ran the streets. The crazy stuff happened to me. Crazy.
Langston, a paranoid schizophrenic, was brought to the infirmary when he became psychotic and started banging his head against the wall.
Langston, R151, 686. The nurse states that he's
a psychotic
episode. Medication has been administered.
If I know my number in jail, or you'll know in prison, you're deep shit. At least they know.
At this time, have officers restrained an inmate on the gurney as it become necessary to do so. He'll be placed on the cell 18, D1 infirmary, and placed in restraints.
I've dealt with Bankston in crisis a couple of times, and I think the biggest problem that we had with him was complying with the medicine that we were trying to provide for him. He would just take it whenever he felt like it. Sometimes he wouldn't. And then perhaps when he became sicker is when he decided to not take it anymore, which seems to be the normal course for a lot of the mentally ill people. They start getting sicker and they think it's the medicine that's making them sicker, and they quit taking the medicine. And if they're not on mandated medicine, then they continue to decompensate further.
The medical staff decided to keep Bankston in the crisis unit on constant watch. But he continued to refuse all the officers' orders to cuff up, so the prison's special response team was called in.
Bankston, give you a direct order to step up here, turn around so handcuffs could be applied.
He was also given emergency medication to help.
They do things differently in mental facilities. Usually those people don't have to gear up. It's very rare. Or the security doesn't. Yeah. If they do have security guards, they usually don't have to gear up. And of course, in the mental facility, they got shots. They'll just inject you and put you out. And stuff. They'll have you in a T or whatever. Stuff like that. So. And they'll just leave you alone in that cell. Whether naked or not, depends. But yeah, they don't need that many people geared up usually. So it's rare that they need security. Yeah, but it does happen. It's rare.
With possible psychosis, at approximately 7:10, I went down to check inmate's father to ensure that chemical agent can be used on him. I'll be here to monitor use of force.
Officer Fraser, be shield.
I think the first thing that people should realize is that the prison doesn't exist to provide mental health treatment.
Yeah.
The prison exists to provide security and safety to the community.
Officer Van Sickle, lower right.
And so you have to be realistic. If there's an inmate, even though he's sick, refuses to come out of his cell, refuses to allow officers to inspect their property, refuses to comply with orders, and stands fast to that, eventually that inmate is going to do what they're told, whether they want to or not.
Give you another direct order, step up here, Bankston. You guys ready?
Hold on. All he wants to do is yell. How is he hurting you? All he does is want to yell the yapper off. Christ's sakes.
Please, sir. Stand up. Stand up. On your face. Sir, please.
Soon after this crisis, Bankston was placed on mandated meds and forced to take his medication until his condition stabilized.
I snatched a purse back in 1989. If I'd have knew I was gonna have to go through all this, boy, I wouldn't, believe me, I would have never snatched no purse. But, yeah, it's classified as a robbery.
Because of his long history of psychotic and aggressive behavior, Robert Bankston has served much of his time at the maximum security prison.
Many severely mentally ill inmates have come into prison either on minor violations of the law or on parole violations, and they were previously at a minimum or a medium security prison. And because those prisons have their own strict rules and guidelines and expectations of compliance with security protocols, those inmates with serious mental illness just can't follow the rules appropriately. They're frightened, they're scared, they're paranoid, they're anxious, they're pacing, they're restless, they don't take their medications. and then they filter down to prison like this, which is kind of like the basement for the severely mentally ill in Ohio.
Concerned that too many mentally ill inmates were ending up at its maximum security prison, Ohio began to take mental illness into account in their disciplinary process.
The biggest change that we started to pay attention to when we looked at certain kinds of behaviors prisoners were demonstrating that may have been psychiatric, but it may
not look like he's not a typical corrections, prison corrections type of person. He looks more like a doctor. Like he has real intelligence, not just about. It seems like he has more of a doctoral kind of look.
May not have been. We wanted to understand the theory, and I'm not trying to be crass here, the difference between mad and bad. You know, we wanted to know if a behavior that resembled deviant behavior was related to just criminal kinds of activities, or if it was induced by some mental illness.
You're in trouble. You're going to have to wait a few minutes, all right?
Michael Shreves, in prison for aggravated robbery, was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. He was recently charged with spitting on an officer. Before his disciplinary hearing, Shreves is meeting with a mental health counselor. If mental illness is found to play a significant role in his misconduct, the charges can be dropped.
So the big issue is about the officers accusing you of spitting on him.
See, what it was I'm walking myself, he grabs the back of my jumpsuit, throws me on the ground. I was trying to get off me, I didn't do nothing.
While you disagree with what he said, you do remember the incident,
yeah,
right?
I'm not spitting on him.
Right, but you do remember the incident.
Yeah, because he said to me,
Bob Lazar.
Spit. I said, I don't spit.
Con.
Yeah.
Come on in here.
No, they're starting lunch already.
Shut the door and have the door.
Okay.
Michael Kahn.
Well, when you're in jail or prison, you're not going to like it when it's your lunchtime, you know, because we don't get much in there. So it's like, unless we know where you get something, after that, then, that's very personal.
In prison for rape, began to yell when he couldn't reach his parents on the telephone. He threw his glasses on the ground and emptied his shampoo bottle all over his cell.
Case number is 200-40368. State your name and number for record.
Michael David Kahn, 234-609.
Con, how do you plead to a Rule 18?
Guilty.
Con, at this time the committee's going to allow you to make a statement.
Dr. Martin was going to keep me on level 2 for 1 year or so, and get special permission from Steve Dillon to have my TV as well as my fan trimmers in my cell while being on level 2 till I show some improvement. What happened, I ignored the fact, but the mister are not realizing.
Yeah, he's like a military guy. I don't think he understands mentally ill people. I don't know, I could be wrong. He looks like he has that military type of look where he doesn't want to understand mentally ill people. He doesn't care to understand. Yeah, he doesn't.
Fact.
Con, what does that have to do with this conduct report?
I'm right.
What I want to know is what took place during the time of this conduct report. I don't want to know what happened when you was talking to Dr. Martin.
Michael Kahn was found guilty of creating a disturbance and destroying state property. Although he could have been sent to segregation, his only punishment was to have his phone privileges revoked. And Michael Shreves was also found guilty. It was his 18th rule violation this year, and he was sent to segregation.
I see a parole board in March of 2005.
If an inmate spits or refuses to hand back his food tray or curses an officer or doesn't cuff up when the officer says put your hands out, cuff up, If that person was in a hospital setting, that would be considered acting out or symptomatic of the illness. In a prison system, that's considered, I'm telling you to cuff up or I'm going to write you up. They write them up. They go before a tribunal, a disciplinary tribunal. They're found guilty.
Well, you do have to go there by force. You're not giving the full story, so I'm going to give it. If you do that, they're going there by force like you just saw earlier. By force of multiple people geared up, and they'll do it whether you like or not.
And they're sent to segregation. Probably the worst thing that could happen to them and to the system, but that's what happens. That's what happens.
It gets to the point where there's nothing else can be done. You're going to have to lock them up in segregation. They have to be locked up and removed from the area, or it's going to cause, it's just going to escalate. It's going to cause a bigger problem in the block. And then you kind of lose control of everything in the block.
A lot of the mentally ill inmates that are in here, you got to use more, I mean, you do have to use force on them. It just seems that way. To me, it does anyway. Because once they get out, and then they get out, once they reach that level, they're out of control, you know, then they need to be secured.
Come on, Donnie. No! Donnie, this is your last chance.
Don't let them all with it! Them all with it!
Over that! 42 over.
I don't know, in some ways, it's just like, if they're not doing anything to me, I say just let them do whatever the fuck they want. As long as they're not attacking others, stuff like that, depends on. I mean, at the same time, they're too loud, they're pissing off other people, then you gotta do, definitely, because there have been times when I was in jail and people would just go ape shit, and it's like, either the prisoners would have to step and say, get his ass out, or they have to kick him out, or whatever. It depends, but I mean, their own cell and stuff like that. Sometimes though, it's like they're not doing anything, everybody else are just venting off like that, but it's like, who cares? You're not doing anything to me, not doing anything to hurt other people, but. You know, I mean, also that's what mentally ill people do, anyways. Just.
I won't, okay? Class, you done what you did, man. I'm not fighting.
Since entering prison in 1981, Donnie Hall, convicted of rape, has had a terrible record of misconduct that has sent him to segregation nearly 100 times. He has cut himself, spit on officers, thrown urine and feces, and flooded his cell. When the staff at Lucasville can no longer handle his behavior, their final option is to send him to the prison psychiatric hospital. Oakwood Correctional Facility was built on the grounds of one of Ohio's abandoned state asylums. Here, inmates are treated more like patients than prisoners. This is the 18th time Donnie Hall has been sent to Oakwood.
These people down here know how to help me. You know how to give me the right medicator. I don't have to be locked down all day. They go to the gym, be in the day room all day, go down to the dining room and eat. I'm more freedom. I feel a whole lot calmer, more better. Don't feel upset no more.
They should have just kept
it there. A whole lot better.
Forever.
It'd be a whole lot better.
Every aspect of your life, from eating your meal to recreation to treatment, is all centered around attempting to stabilize the mental illness. It's a 24-hour treatment environment like any other hospital in the community.
Kept up, Floyd. Kept up.
These all mine?
Yeah, kept up, right there. Yeah, put it up.
Sigmund Clark, convicted of robbery, has been in and out of prison for nearly 20 years and has been hospitalized at Oakwood many times.
Yeah, cut, Floyd. Cut.
He became so delusional that he was convinced officers were trying to kill him, and to rid himself of the poison, he started drinking water from his cell toilet.
The colors go down the same way?
Yeah, the same color, same way.
I went to like 7, 8 institutions in them 12 years. To the point behavior will go up and down. They would change my security level. And it would go up and down, and I would do better. Sometimes I had to go to a higher security if I done worse. Sometimes I had to go to a lower security if I done better. But I still had this disease, mental illness, regardless of what is happening to me.
Although Clark's behavior has improved significantly while at Oakwood, he cannot stay indefinitely.
It's just not intended to be anything other than a turnaround hospital, get you back to your environment. And it has a mission. Short-term acute care, stabilize. We're not saying you're better. We're saying you're stabilized, and you go back.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
We were discussing you before you came in, Mr. Clark, and we think you have done wonderful in here. So we are thinking of sending you back to Lucasville. What is your idea?
Question is that in my best behalf at this time?
We think so, yes.
You have adjusted it beautifully well to the level of medication. There's been absolutely no side effects whatsoever. Quite frankly, you've been an exemplary patient. People don't go to the hospital and stay forever.
You saw his body language. He wanted to stay there. He needs that. He needs to stay there. That's where state and country fails. Is when even they themselves know that he's gonna get shafted because he shouldn't be let out. Put in another place or let out, you know. That's injustice, really.
Stay as long as they need to be there. Clinically, we feel that you have improved to the point that you can now start functioning in a manner that's okay for you back in your system. Your delusions are way down. You're not hallucinating. You go to groups. You have goal-directed conversations. In other words, you do real well at the
in
level
this setting.
that you're functioning.
Do I do well in another setting?
And I see no reason why you can't. Give it a try.
A lot of it's up to you.
Don't you want a parole with better options?
I want a better day every 24 hours.
True.
He knows that he belongs there. He knows he don't belong on the outside or another prison. That's the difference. That's where they fail him. They fail society.
After 90 days at Oakwood, Sigmund Clark was sent back to the maximum security prison in Lucasville.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Nephew done lost weight. You on days now?
Yeah, back on days.
Back on days.
Each time he has returned to the prison's mental health unit, Clark's condition has deteriorated, and he's ended up back in the prison infirmary.
It was gloomy because I know I'm coming down a road of isolation now. You're just stuck in a cell with all kind of thoughts going through your head. Now if I need a pillow and some toilet paper.
I'll get it. 1 second.
I'll try to stick it out
about one
That's the
thing.
thing is that everybody should be able to get out more instead of just being stuck in the cell. You can say what you want. You know, they deserve not to be out, but it makes things worse not just for themselves, but for others. Because when they lash out, it affects other inmates. You know, just because some people deserve to be put in hell, in a cell, doesn't mean that's always the right thing for others, and the stability of others around them, and how it affects and infects others, etc. There's a way you can make jails and prisons better. You should do it, and that's something that needs to change. So.
In it one day at a time, doing the best each day, and hoping that the next day is brighter.
I think basically this is home to him. Getting to the point where the treatment that they're going to receive in prison, it's pretty much all that's left. It's pretty ironic. They have to be locked in prison probably to get better mental health treatment than they could get if they were free.
Right. But he does, they need to really redo things for mentally ill versus general population people and stuff like that, violent ones versus mentally ill. There's to be a lot of changes.
At Lucasville, the mental health staff struggled for nearly 4 years to manage and treat Jacuba Lewis's schizophrenia.
If you had seen Jacuba Lewis several years ago when he was incessantly hallucinating and really struggling, one would think there's really no hope for this person. But thankfully, even though we're here, we've been able to treat him very effectively. And his behavior stabilized to the point where he was able to be conduct report free, I believe for over a year, which is really remarkable in a real strict environment where you're expected to follow the rules, essentially irrespective of what your limitations are.
Jacuba Lewis was transferred out of the maximum security prison to a lower security prison in Orient, Ohio.
Get down the ramp here, get on the left side of the hallway, stay inside the yellow.
Unfortunately, I do believe that some of the mental health treatment that we provide in prisons is better than what one might get in the community. I've actually had a judge mention to me before that, you know, we hate to do this, but we know the person will get treated if we send this person to prison. When you know that the courts are more apt to send a person to prison because they're going to get treated, and there's something disconcerting about that.
There are a lot of people I knew in jail that said that they were glad they were not on the streets where they could have access to drugs and other stuff. I mean, there is access to drugs, but it's like, it's easier to keep away from it as well. So, I mean, you know, if they're on the streets, it'd be readily available, right? Too, that they have people on the streets, you know, always going to them, drugs, stuff like that, where jail prisons, not as much, you know, so.
It's easier to do all of them on 3 than go up to 2 and still have.
How you doing? I'm doing fine. Yes.
Lewis is meeting with his new mental health team to discuss his ongoing treatment.
Does your mental illness have something to do with your crime?
Yes.
Can you share how?
Because when I was on the street, right before I caught my case, I was real, like, have you ever heard of somebody say a dark cloud come over their head? Strange things was happening, but I really didn't know what it was. People was talking to me and telekinesis, somebody had say something, but they really not. But back then, I couldn't tell the truth because I didn't know what schizophrenia was. I didn't even know, I didn't know nothing about it. I thought it was real.
Well, do you feel comfortable telling me what the crime was?
Oh, I was down for, I had murdered, I killed 2 people.
And at that point of time, you thought they were the enemy? Or?
Yes, thought they was trying to kill me because it was the way that the whole day was going. The last 4 years, I've been learning more about it, so I know how to handle them a little better, but I'm still not to the point where I can control it. But I haven't had a psychotic episode in a long time.
While Jacoba Lewis believes the treatment he received in prison has made him better, other inmates believe that prison has made them worse.
Being locked up in prison, it does affect your mental well-being.
Right.
It's just like these environmental factors, which I continually say must be considered before one is given some diagnosis, some misdiagnosis, or some.
Like I said, there's a lot of stuff that they could do to make things better for prisoners, and that would make things a lot more peaceful for everybody. For both, not just inmates not going after each other, but also more peaceful for the officers working there, the corrections as well. And if people get out more, do other activities and stuff like that, make them differently, it would help everybody. Not just corrections, the officers. It would make the place more peaceful. Not as many rapes, not as many fights as murders, not as many suicides. It's something that has to be done. I'll give some of these idiots say that it should all be hell and stuff like that. Some they do deserve hell, definitely. But there needs to be peace in there. Peace helps everybody. It helps everybody. That's the important thing to think about.
Drug, you know what I'm saying, it's supposed to be a cure-all. I'm saying, let's find out what's really going on first. And being in prison, that's one problem.
Well, what's all this for? Like I said, no use of force is necessary.
Convicted initially for burglary, Carl McEachran returned to prison in 1988 when he violated his parole by stealing a bicycle. For nearly a decade, McEachran's disciplinary problems led him to spiral down through the Ohio prison system, from medium security to maximum security, and eventually to the supermax.
He was the type of individual that was very difficult to work with because in the past, he had been very aggressive towards staff, including, I believe, by spitting on staff members and throwing body waste. And so there wasn't a lot of empathy for him. There wasn't a lot of people going to bat for him. The people weren't saying, we really need to help this person. The tendency would be for somebody like that to just, let's lock him away. You know, if this person's going to behave like that, let's just not have anything to do with him. Before we had the system in place that we do now, that type of individual would still be in segregation, and they would probably never get out of segregation.
Probably suicide or killing. Because this is what is not always talked about. If you get people in segregation pissed off and they get out for a shower, so if there's an opening, they'll just kill him. Because he's causing trouble, he's too loud and everything. That's one reason why you need more reforms and stuff, because it helps everybody, including the officers, where they're not going to get pissed off and go crazy. But you know, also that also depends if they're going to take their meds or not.
Being involved in a solitary situation, being placed in a solitary situation, is like being placed in a prison's prison. And that's worse than simply being taken from society and placed in prison.
I brought the 4B illegally. If you're mentally ill when you go into segregation, you're going to become worse, invariably. If you're not mentally ill, the risk of becoming mentally ill is very high from isolation. Some people dispute that, but in my experience, the people who are so unsocialized and so psychologically fragile to begin with are deprived of any kind of social support, any kind of psychological stimulus, and they just fall apart.
McEachran spent years in solitary confinement, and eventually his psychological problems became obvious. He didn't speak for nearly a year. He began crawling down a cell block on his hands and knees. He told officers that there were cameras in his eyes.
It seemed like a hopeless situation because I was just going down. It's for falling into this abyss, or how would you pronounce it? Abyss. Okay, and it's like you're that's it. It's like is everybody there? You say help. You know what I'm saying? And it's really there's hopeless.
Carl McEachran has been in prison for over 16 years. Because of his disciplinary problems, he never became eligible for parole and has been held 13 years beyond the sentencing guidelines for his crime.
I see the parole board next month, and there's some hope there that I hope they actually do release him. I really do, because this is my last year of really having this hope. I'm not going to go off or anything like that, but I just hope they do really consider what's going on.
And they kill my goddamn bus, all of them. Every goddamn one of these bitches murder my goddamn mother, and they do everything and turn around with my goddamn wife. And that's why they trying to...
Now, I'm not playing Jesus anymore. I showed you Jesus. I wasn't bothering the man about that. I got the 2 pillars in my room.
For mentally ill inmates, obtaining parole is almost always difficult.
Got a parole board date next month. I'm hoping they'll let me go.
Better than dealing with somebody else's.
I just tell them that I've been incarcerated for 16 years and have all remorse for things I've done. And I know I'm mental, but I'm not incompetent. And I know that I can really function on the outside. And I wish and hope that they would give me a parole, you know? Sure.
It's a lot different on the outside where they have to, they're responsible for going to these places to get medicine by yourself a lot of times, you know, and if you're in prison, then they come to you. They give you your stuff that they need and everything. On the outside, you have to do that all by yourself. And that's when it's like people say, fuck it, I can't do it, I don't want to do it. And that's where the trouble begins, is that they're responsible for that. And they don't always have access to that. Can you imagine some of these people driving? Nuh-uh. That'd be the worst thing in the world. Because they're driving, so they walk, take buses, they don't got medicine, they start going crazy. If they're jailed in prison, they get the help there. You know, they go, the officials go to them. You know, go to their cells, stuff like that. The outside it's a fail.
All right, fellas. First 2, take those far end ones. First 2, Owens. Go on down to that first 2. You right here, Hayes.
While most inmates hope to be released, Jerry Tharp, who was granted parole after a 10-year sentence for robbery, doesn't want to leave prison.
You know, I'm trying to, my release is coming quicker, and I'm trying to stop that because it'll help us all.
Well, I know you said you had some concerns in treatment team. When we met for treatment team.
Yeah, and I've said that about every treatment team that I've went to, and still nothing's becoming of it. And you know.
So you have other plans when you get out then?
Yeah, I have other plans. And the sane mind that I'm in now, and the sanity that I still have, says that's not right to go through with those plans, and innocent people will be hurt and murdered, and also people will be hurt and murdered. So go ahead and stop your parole. Work
That's
with
the thing. Unless you're in jail or prison, unless people are keeping an eye on you, can't guarantee that people are to be okay.
System of things, which I've learned and well understand insightfully. So now I've been locked up for so long that I have a fear of going directly to society, because here in prison life's a lot simpler, and everything is on a tight schedule. And I've learned that out in society, the world, society, it's a lot bigger and more complicated, a little bit more scarier, and I'm trying to stop my release.
Some things I miss about not being in prison or whatever. That's getting an education where I don't have that chance here. People don't call me back. They don't give a shit at the colleges and stuff like that or anything. Real bitches and stuff, and they don't care. It's like, this is where a lot of people say, fuck it, I need to do something, go back to prison. I understand that. I understand that. I really do. And everything. That'd be one thing I miss, is that education, good job and stuff like that. Of course, go to jail or prison and you got charges on you. But there is pluses to being in jail or prison. Shit, there is.
At least from prison to go to society.
So what would you do with you?
Put me off in some government state hospital and take a lobotomy, I think is what they called it. And I don't know. I think in some states it's still legal here. Thorazine me out. And what I mean by that is over-medicate me with Thorazine and just leave me in a room to sleep my life away. Just, leave me for loss.
Although he wants to live out his life in a psychiatric institution, there are so few mental hospitals left that long-term commitment has become almost impossible. Jerry Tharp was released to a halfway house.
I think if they reopened these hospitals and there was independent oversight, kind of people that wasn't with the system, that wasn't obedient to, I'd say, the psychiatric people or whoever's in charge of it, and they're independent of them, and they can call out any type of abuse that was happening, whether sexual, physical, or other medicinal abuse. I think if there was that oversight, then stuff should be reopened. And the reason why they closed a lot of these places is because of abuse that was happening and people, that abuse the system, having people, some people were committed illegally, wrongfully. Not illegally, but wrongfully. If family didn't like that person or for whatever reason, they got people to just sign stuff to get that person committed. And that's wrong.
I think a lot of the attitude has been over the years, out of sight, out of mind. You lock people away, then they're no longer a problem. Well, guess what? 98% of everybody who go to prison get out, and it behooves us all to pay close attention to it when we can, and not to sweep it under the rug.
It's been over a year since Robert Bankston had to be restrained in the prison infirmary. In and out of prison for 16 years on his purse-snatching conviction, Bankston recently became eligible for parole.
It's a lot of time, I mean, for snatching a purse. And I've been down here paying ever since. I don't know, I hope they pay me. I hope they give me a parole. That's all I can say, you know.
Mr. Bankston?
Yeah.
We're ready to see you.
Hello, Mr. Bankston. Hi. You've come a long way. Your behavior has improved significantly, hasn't it?
Yes, sir.
You haven't had a conduct violation since?
It's been a while, since, I think 2003.
Mm-hmm.
2003.
Have you noticed that you tend to get in more trouble when you're not doing the meds right, or what?
Yes, I tend to get paranoid. Usually that's when some take place. They wind up sending me to D1 at Lucasville for refusal.
Okay. Is that what's happening on the rest of these?
Yes.
Is that what happens out in the street too?
Yes, pretty much. My PO, when I was out last time, he made sure I stayed on the medication.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Well, that's the thing. He was being watched. But after that, you do the time and everything like that, you ain't being watched anymore, nobody will watch over you. And people say, like, fuck it, I ain't doing shit. It's like if I have people doing it for me, helping me, forcing me, watching me take my medicines, it's like, why do it? And I don't have people to talk to. I'm not talking with anybody. I stay away from people, so it's like fuck life or anything. Fuck taking medicine. I do whatever the fuck I want. And I'll get better care if something happens. I get better care in prison or jail.
Have contact with your family? Do you have a rapport still with your family?
That's another thing. People are talking to them there. A lot of people, on the outside don't talk to you, but it's like,
Well, I talked to my aunt around a week ago. That was about the last person I talked to. My grandmother died since I've been locked up.
Okay.
I really know, not really.
In terms of a place to reside, do you have a place?
Well, my mother, that's about it.
Well, you haven't talked to her, so you wouldn't know if you could reside there or not, right?
Right.
Robert Bankston was granted parole on the condition that he continue his mental health treatment and meet regularly with his parole officer.
They gave me the parole, man, so
That's got to be the greatest feeling in the world.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah.
All you got to do is get out there and maintain, man.
Yeah. Damn, man, I didn't even know if I was gonna get the parole or not, man. So whatever it is.
Michael Townsend.
Yeah, put in my time, man.
This is Robert Bankston's fourth parole. Each time he has been released in the past, he stopped taking his medication and ended up homeless, violated his parole, and was sent back to prison.
I've always been arguing that there's some people that these medication is something that don't. There's some people that get fucked over by medication. One thing with me as well. I was just body destroyed and everything by this shit. And there are people that need it.
Another inmate, Keith Williams, is about to leave the maximum security prison. He served his full 2-year sentence for burglary and is being released to St. Paul's, a homeless shelter in Toledo.
And is your family there?
No, I'm not close to my family anymore. Been away too long. I just, St. Paul's, and then after that, somewhere else with my people.
Who are your people?
My mom and Angel's cats.
And where are they living?
They live all over the world. If I'm not mistaken, they live all over the world. All over the world. All over the world.
We release people with 2 weeks worth of medication, yet it appears that it's taking 3 months for people to actually get an appointment in the community to continue their services. We have a fairly solid correctional mental health services that we have supported people with, and when they go out, they're going to have to be assertive, if not aggressive, to try to get the services that they need. And if they don't have the energy and or the insight to do that, they're going to, what we say, fall through the cracks and end up back in some kind of criminal act.
They know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. We know it's going to happen. That's why, hate to say, but jail, prison's the best place sometimes. They need to be changes, though. But it's like, they got nobody to talk to. Nobody wants to talk to them. In jail, prison, they have to talk with somebody. They have to. They have to have that social element. They get out there on the streets. They don't want to talk to them. They don't want to talk to anybody else. I mean, a lot of times I don't want to talk to anybody either. You know. And that's a problem. And people, they just say, fuck it out. Well, do not no more. They say it takes 3 months, to get to somebody. You'll get 2 weeks of meds. Fucking kidding me? That's criminal. That's negligence, man. We need more refill stuff.
Activity that ends up with them going back to jail and possibly coming back to prison.
We give you $75 gate money to go home on, so it's going to be a total of $81.
$75 is gone in an hour. $75 is gone as soon as you get out. Especially stupid California, back Asmongold State. It's only 166. That's gone.
16, okay? There's 16 cents. And there's 81, okay? Oh, and good luck to you.
Yeah, good luck. What the fuck is that?
Williams, 45629. This is a 2-week supply, so you'll need to get in to see the doctor before these run out to get them to get a new prescription. The Risperdal is the green tablet. The coach.
They're letting you out to die. I didn't say give free money and stuff like that. They give them something like, I don't know. This is where it's like in jail, these prisons, they need to be taught. People need vocations and stuff like that. There needs to be more classes and stuff. More schooling. They call some of these stupid idiots call this Department of Corrections rehabilitation. There's no rehabilitation. You go to jail or prison, usually 9% of the time, or 8% of the time, let's say 90. 90% of the time more. It teaches you how to be a better criminal, more of a thug, more how to kill, how to kill, and everything else. It's the worst. There's no fucking rehabilitation. Rarely. There's only few people that can get rehabilitated, and they need to have more schooling and stuff like that. Have job placement for people, because this is why they go back to drugs. This is why they go back to gangs. Because there's money. This is why. These people are being put out, set up to fail. This is set up to failure.
Yeah, that's a white tablet. If you miss a dose, then take it again at the next opportunity. But don't double up on the doses.
From working here the 15 years I've been here, I've learned that a lot of the mentally ill inmates that are in here, you can't just lock him up and tell him to do 10, 20 years. And then as soon as that time's up, sending back out on the street. It's not going to work.
It's not. It's not.
It's not. Definitely not going to work.
They know it's failure. It is.
Today, there are over 2 million people in U.S. jails and prisons, and nearly 500,000 of them are mentally ill.
Cortez. Yeah. You see right there.
Although Ohio's prison mental health care system is considered one of the best, in much of the country, vast numbers of mentally ill inmates continue to receive little or no treatment.
I started in this work in 1973. We had 7,000 prisoners. Today we have over 44,000. And nationally, those numbers parallel what we experienced here in Ohio. But also in 1973, the number of persons in
the
mental health
population has tripled since then. You know, so 150 million, now 350, 375 million. There's a lot of people that haven't been counted since this. So it's tripled.
Health and retardation facilities was a lot greater than what existed in state and federal correctional institutions.
Prison is simply not the place of first choice in which to provide mental health care. And with a certain irony, I would say we shouldn't devote ourselves to raising...
If they're set up to fail, then it becomes the first choice. There's where they bureau prisons and stuff that make more money off this shit. When you get out, you need a better plan. I believe government officials need to do more. Because it doesn't just, it is about just helping them. It helps the greater society, it helps the country, it helps everybody. If you can help them, help us and help them, you know, become some greater job opportunities, stuff like that. And they can be washed over like a hawk in a lot of ways. It doesn't just help them, it helps everybody. It helps the whole community, it helps the whole country as a whole. Instead of just saying throw them, you know, back in the slammer and do nothing, not help them. And you gotta have a plan for them on the outside. These people are set up to fail, set for failure. That's the problem.
Continually raising the level of mental health care in prisons, because the better you make an institution that shouldn't be used for the purpose you're improving, the more you're ensuring its use.
Are you in the community service project? See, if you get in the community service projects, he can hook you up with a lot more stuff.
We are the gatekeepers of a lot of persons who are mentally ill, and that's not something we relish. We don't like that idea. We don't like the idea that we're being charged with fixing a lot of the woes of our communities. But I don't think that we've developed a system of alternatives that need to be in place in order to prevent the kind of problems that we're dealing with now in prisons and jails across this country.
Not just national level, but the whole world would be a lot better if there are systems in place to help inmates and to help mentally ill become something greater. Because you've set them up to fail, it hurts everybody.
Less than a month after being released from prison, Keith Williams stopped taking his medication and assaulted a counselor at the homeless shelter. He has been back to jail twice. Jerry Tharp was out of prison for only 2 months when he robbed a pharmacy. Arrested hours later, Tharp told police he committed the crime because he wanted to go back to prison.
Yep. That's why. Sometimes it's better being incarcerated. Sometimes you get things better. That's the thing, that they were set up. I mean, they knew they couldn't be on the outside. There wasn't as much opportunity. It was a setup to fail. I said that. Other people, they're going to say that too. And people are saying, if you don't try, then you deserve to be out there. Fuck you. It's not always, us the people that get out. Some of it is the system that's fucked up. And, they only do so much and then you're left off to fail. And they should have different kinds of institutions to help people away from mainline prisons, even mental health, incarceration places as well. And what I have in my own imagination, what I could think of is cost a lot of money, maybe worth it, because it'd help everybody, not just on state, county, local basis, but on a global basis. Could help the whole planet, I believe.
Carl McEachran in prison for 6
Of course, there's always going to be people we can't do anything about. You put it into a human body, your mind is fucked up. When you're dead, your mind is all washed. All that stuff is washed away. It's not there.
16 years, was finally paroled. But before he could be freed, McEachran, who had come to the U.S. from Jamaica as a child,
scars there from the head injury,
was detained by U.S. immigration and deported.
This is one of those cases saying that isn't going to help. I mean, no taxpayer money, but it doesn't help. You send it to another country, he's going to do violence over there, you can't help. I hate to say it, but this is one of those things I disagree with. I think it's fucked up. The mentally ill, stuff like that, they can get help, and there's ways to make things better for them. This is where I'm pissed off at ICE and them. Could have done better.
After Robert Bankston was paroled, he stopped taking his medication and was asked to leave his homeless shelter. He hasn't reported to his parole officer in weeks, and if he fails to show up within the month, a warrant will be issued for his
arrest. You just get 24 hours. I don't know why you don't, but you get 24 hours. But it's different over there.
Rest.
I bet. I make a bet. I make a big wager that he did not end up reporting. He's back in jail or prison. Yeah, I think he found that's probably easier to just go back than being on the streets, stuff like that. I bet.
And Benny Anthony, who was in prison for 11 years, was also paroled. He is now enrolled in a special program for mentally ill inmates and is reportedly doing well.
So my part, usually I don't play this song. I just had to put in my words about my own experiences that other people don't have on it. I did my thing, so anyways.